Hey guys, so welcome to the very first episode of Chris Finishes. My name is Christopher. First episode, actually, I'm going to be finishing up this drawing here. Yeah, since this is the first episode, we're going to be on a budget, and I don't know if you can see my trusty Starbucks mug that I got from this morning. A blonde Americano, 2 shots of espresso, 3 Splendas. Yeah, I know. I'm going to be finishing up this drawing that I started, I don't know, but what I can tell you is that it was inspired by Madonna's 1990 or 1991 political commercial that she did to get America to get off their butts and go out and vote. And she did this whole remix using the melody of her very popular song at the time, Vogue, with 2 of her backup dancers from her Blonde Ambition tour and the Like a Prayer era, Jose Gutierrez and Luis Camacho, shout out to them. And so I kind of drew it down, and I never really finished, because I watched lots of documentaries. in the 90s, actually, it was a pretty crucial time where America saw an influx of younger kids. So we're talking about kids who just were the age where they could legally vote now, getting up and actually going out to vote. So it really had an impact on people who were being elected into office and government and stuff like that. And what I'm actually going to talk about today is kind of related to Madonna. MTV was considering getting rid of Michael Jackson's name from the Vanguard Award, the Video Vanguard Award. And just to give you guys a quick backstory, the Video Vanguard Award was something that started in 1984, and it basically honored excellence in media and execution in the music video, whether that be long form or short form, and just overall accomplishments in visual presentation. And so they renamed it the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award in about 91, rightfully so, because if you count the visual advances that Michael had made, even with the time that he spent in the Jackson 5, just the visuals alone for the music videos that they started putting out up until 1991, I mean, his track list is just so impressive. You had videos like Can You Feel It, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Beat It, Thriller, Bad, The Way You Make Me Feel. It was just, I mean, he was so far ahead of his time when it came to the music video. So MTV decided to rename it the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award. And now in 2019, now they're trying to backtrack and name it something else. Or they're just trying to get rid of it altogether. And I'm gonna have some thoughts about that. I immediately saw red when I saw this article post, because to me it's just kind of like the VMAs being late to the party. They're just kind of being late to the party. I mean, and this is just an exact, example of something that I have an issue with in this whole industry, this fake industry that we call entertainment. I mean, if it took them this long to do something about this Vanguard Award that his name has been carrying for over 30 years, and then over 25 years, I don't see now what the point is in getting rid of his name from the Vanguard Award. I mean, if anything, maybe I do agree with just getting rid of the Vanguard Award altogether, because it's like, honestly, who could you rename it after? Who could you rename it after, if we're being totally honest? And a lot of people were in the comments saying, oh, rename it the Beyonce Vanguard Award, or rename it the Britney Spears Vanguard Award. And I was like, I mean, if I'm being totally honest, and this is no shade, I don't even want either of them involved in this mess, because this goes so far beyond a Beyonce or a Britney Spears. This goes back to what is currently going on right now in terms of the Michael Jackson name and the Michael Jackson brand. And if we all remember a little documentary was released not too long ago this year called Leaving Neverland, to much criticism and much, you know, renewed speculation, or renewed, I could say, anger, hatred, malice towards Michael Jackson, a very dead Michael Jackson for that matter. MTV is just reacting as a result to that because they don't want any smoke. They don't want any smoke. And I mean, it's funny to me because they had all of this time to make such a move like this. Now, what I think is that there are probably some new people on the board of the VMAs, and they're in talks with MTV to just pull his name altogether, because they could have done this years ago. They could have done this in 1993 when the allegations first started. They could have done this in 2004 and 2005 when new allegations surfaced, when he was going through those terrible 2-3 years of just court case after court case and settlement after settlement and police interrogation, spontaneous police interrogation, mind you. They could have removed his name then, but they decided not to. And then on top of that, they went out of their way to give him like probably the most befitting tribute following his death. And now in 2019, they're deciding, okay, maybe we should get rid of his name after all. Maybe we should actually think about getting rid of his name, because honestly, we don't want any association with any kind of controversy yet. If you remember back to the very first VMAs, what was probably the most controversial performance of that night back in 1984? I'll give you a second to think about it. It was Madonna. It was Madonna. And she laid that blueprint out for creating a memorable, controversial, iconic moment. It was this lady right here that I am trying to caricature. And that set the stage for what the VMAs was going to be for the next 30 plus years. That set the stage. So it's to me, it's ridiculous. And I always think of the advancements and the way that he kind of, let's just be honest. Without Michael, I mean, yeah, you know, we had contributions from Janet, Prince, Whitney Houston, Madonna, you know. But had it not been for Michael Jackson making the Thriller album, had it not been for him releasing the singles that he was releasing, strategically, mind you, MTV honestly would cease to be just a kind of a fad channel. TRL coming into the picture, that just prolonged, you know, the shelf life of the VMAs, because now not only did you have the artists that were showing up to the show to promote their, you know, music as well as their videos, but now you also had these same artists that you would tune in to watch at 3:30, 4 o'clock showing up to the VMAs to promote even more. And you know, some of your favorite artists were these same ones. So had it not been for Michael making those advances and making those conscious decisions of how he was gonna promote himself in order to be able to get airplay on the VMAs, I mean on MTV and subsequently the VMAs, I don't think the VMAs or MTV would be where it's at today. I don't think that at all. And it's just so funny to me that the VMAs are trying to like get rid of the legacy that he blueprinted. It really is so funny to me, because I guarantee you, for as many other problematic artists that have come out in the last 20 years, they will probably put them on a pedestal. They'll put them on a pedestal. And mind you, they're still living, by the way. Like, this guy is full out dead. Like, Michael Jackson in this year, 2019, is nothing more than probably soil now, and he's blessing the earth somewhere. God rest his soul. But yeah, I don't like that they're adding more, you know, fuel to the fire. I don't like that they're trying to further remove his legacy off of something that isn't even true, because this is all in just a response to the Leaving Neverland thing. I remember not too long ago, the Vietnamese decided that they were going to rename their moon man to moon person because of like inclusivity or something like that, which to me, it really, who gives a damn about what it's called? It's an award nonetheless that's going to either be awarded to a male or female artist. There are certain things that deserve like, how do I say it? There are certain things in this life that deserve a certain amount of energy, and then there are things that honestly should just be left at as is. Like, I mean, it really made no difference what it was called. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And so them trying to remove Michael Jackson's name now from the Vanguard Award, it's really pointless, because it's like all of these allegations that were brought up against him were proven false. They found no evidence, physical, documented. They found no evidence whatsoever. Then on top of that, the trials that pursued in the 2000s, again, no evidence, not guilty, never happened. If anything, I think what Michael was guilty of was extending his hand to a lot of these families. And I think there's also an underlying kind of malice towards him because of the fact that he was a black man. And I know people are gonna be like, oh boy, here we go, we're bringing in race to it. But I'm being totally honest. What other artist, celebrity of Michael Jackson's magnitude, because there are other artists who were at the magnitude of success that Michael Jackson was at. None of them ever went through anything like this. None of them. Why Michael Jackson? Why Michael Jackson? The world was pissed off, or certain people in power were just livid that this black man, this extremely talented black man with all of this money and all of this influence, and on top of that, the way that he was using his money, you know, what he was putting it towards, the people that he was actually helping out, really helping out to, you know, get back on their feet. He was putting it towards them. They just couldn't take it. They couldn't take it. So I think that's why the industry kind of didn't really rally around him when he needed them most. And the minute that whole thing about the little kids started, about the young boys started, they went to town on him. And it just goes to show that you can be the greatest person, be the greatest artist to ever walk this earth. You can be the artist to change the game. You can be Michael Jackson, and the world is still gonna treat you like crap. Even in death, the people that you thought were your friends will still treat you like you've done them wrong. And it's really sad. What I'm gonna quickly do is just get the eyes in for Louis and Jose, and then I'm gonna put the rest in hyperlapse, so stay tuned for that. Alright guys? And that's it. That's pretty much everything. I'm pretty much done with the rough part, so I like how everything is way more uniform. Everyone has their matching combat boots on, and I kind of adorned the flag a little bit more around Madonna's body because she's really tiny, and so I just want to emphasize just how big this flag that she's adorning her body with is. I got Louis and Jose's face in there, and the flags that they were flailing around in the original commercial. So I'll color this in later, but for the most part, this is part one of Chris Finishes. So thank you for anybody who tunes in and watches this. I can't wait to get that stain out, by the way, when I color this thing in. And hopefully y'all stay tuned for my next video, which will be coming really soon, and I can't wait to see where this channel takes off to. Thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you next time. And remember, if you can finish up an old drawing, then you can finish up anything else in life. Okay?